Beautiful. Now, this is the concluding remarks are going to be on this particular question, which you have all, kind of approached in your own way. How can we as individuals have a holistic spirituality in our lives? How can we bring that into our lives?
Maharaj?
Swami
Okay.
Atmarupananda.
How we can bring a holistic spirituality into our everyday life.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. How can we do that? First of all, we need a daily practice. If we don't have a daily practice, then we're not establishing the habits that we need, which are essential for spiritual life. When I came to Gretz to stay this time, I had visited Gretz several times over the decades. I first went there in 1975, and again I was there for 2 months in 1981, and then in 2015. Every night, with a couple of exceptions during the week, every night they read what are called the Stita Prajna Lakshanas of the Gita. That is chapter 2 of the Bhagavad Gita, verse 54 through 72. Every night they read it in French, and this has been going on for decades. And so I told people, why do we read the same thing over and over again every night? When I came in 1975, it was being done. In 82, it was being done. 2015, it was being done. And now 2022, when I came to Gretz this time, it's being done. I said, there's a very important reason. Repetition in spiritual life is extremely important because, as I said during the course of my remarks during one of the sessions in this retreat, the whole universe is nothing but habit. There's nothing in the universe but habits of perception and habits of action. And to counteract the habitual perception and manners of acting and reacting within this universe, we have to repeatedly tell ourselves the same truth. And so, as I tell the people in Gretz occasionally when there's a new group there, we read the same thing every night, because if you listen attentively, you find that these ideas become living within your mind. They become alive to you. So one of the important ways of developing a spiritual life, a holistic spiritual life, is to imbibe the ideas to the point where they become living inside of you. Repeat them over and over again until they become a part of you. And so part of that is establish a daily practice. Once when I was in San Diego, several decades ago, a Swami, an American Swami, came to visit me from San Francisco, Swami Sahajananda. People used to joke that he was the Marine Corps of Vedanta Swamis, because he was very strict with himself and with others, and a no-nonsense Swami, absolutely no nonsense. So he came to the center to see me. He walked into the center, sat down. I sat opposite him, and he said, "So what is your spiritual practice?" And so I said, "Well, Swami, on a daily basis, And he said, yes, that's it. What you do every day, that's what counts." Yes, that is what counts, because that develops, that allows ideas to go deep inside of us. Once somebody asked Swami Yatishwarananda, "Why say the same mantra over and over and over again, endlessly, day after day? Why the same mantra?" He said, "How many times a day do you think of yourself and act with yourself as if you were a body? You do it all day. So how much you have to work to counteract that by repeating the mantra." So repetition in spiritual life, get used to it, because it's very, very helpful. The problem is anything repeated, including a mantra, becomes mechanical. So learn to wake yourself up as you do it. Pay attention to what you're doing. That takes work and it takes time, because everything repeated becomes mechanical. But learn, like I tell people in France, when listening to the Stita Prajna Lakshanas, the qualities of a person of steady wisdom, every day try to listen to what's being read as if it's new. When you repeat the mantra, be as Sri Ramakrishna said, like the fisherman with an old style pole and a line with a cork on it. You sit there and wait for the cork to dip when a fish nibbles, but the fisherman is intently watching the cork to see if there's a bite on the hook. So as you do japa, be intently aware of what you're doing. Yes, again and again. Sometimes for the whole hour it will be purely mechanical, but next time try again, and the next time try again. So for a holistic spiritual life, one other thing I'll say, and then I'll stop, and that is that use your different faculties, as Swami Sarvapriyananda was just saying. Learn to think about the truth, learn to feel the truth, learn to act on the truth, learn to concentrate the mind on the truth. Use your mind, use your body, use your heart, use all of your faculties in order to discover the truth, and you'll find that that will give you a holistic spirituality. Well, one last thing I'll say. Let me add another thing, and that is you need to have an understanding that everything is God, or everything is Brahman, or everything is the self. Something that gives you an idea of everything is connected to spirituality. And then all of your actions, then you will have a spiritual, and a holistic spirituality, because everything is divine. If you have that understanding, then it comes more easily.
Thank you, Swami. Swami Sarvapriyananda.
Yes. In our daily practice, we should have elements of all the yogas. Swami Vivekananda's very famous definition of religion as the manifestation of the divinity which is already within us. And then he says, how do you do that? You do that through, he says, work, by which he means service or doing good to others, which is karma yoga. He says you do that through, the words he used were psychic control, which he means meditation or Raja Yoga. You do that through love, by which he means bhakti yoga. And you do that, he uses the word philosophy, but what he meant was jnana yoga. And he says, by one or more or all of these and be free, that is the whole of religion. Books, temples, doctrines, churches are secondary details. So he goes straight to the heart of the thing. Have these 4 yogas as part of your daily practice. An inquiry, a jnana practice, a meditation practice, a devotional practice, and a service component, doing something for society, good to others. As we do these yogas, we'll run up against a question of balance of which one should we do, what should be primary. There are many answers possible, but one could be that one yoga could be our basis, the one which comes most naturally to us, which feels most alive to us. So I might be a bhakta, a devotee, and I might have a regular practice of scriptural study. I might have a practice of serving other beings and regular meditation on my deity. But my fundamental practice would be devotion, that I love God, and I love God in these ways. These other yogas would be expressions. One could do just the opposite, have the jnana attitude, that I am Brahman, and Brahman is the only reality appearing in these ways. And one can have a non-dualistic bhakti based on that. One can serve humanity based on that. One can meditate based on that. So you could have a fundamental jnana yoga practice with the other 3 as emanations from it. So in this way, this is just a suggestion. It is important to have these components in our daily spiritual practice. Swami Vivekananda recommended that. He said, he was clear about it. Any one of them can take you to enlightenment. Meditation can take you to enlightenment. Philosophical inquiry can take you to enlightenment. And certainly devotion, love of God, can take us to enlightenment. But he said, it is safer and more wholesome. Each of them have their own defects and peculiarities. One can have a non-dualistic bhakti based on that. One can have a which can be counteracted, equipoised, and balanced if we have all of them. By that, what he means is sometimes this doing good can become just busyness. And that's counteracted by a regular meditation practice when you withdraw from the world. Sometimes the sentimentality and emotionalism of the pure devotional path, it should be counteracted by the development of logic and reason and common sense in religion, which Jnana Yoga brings to the table. Sometimes the Jnana practice can become mere intellectualism. I've read this book and that book and I know all the arguments, but that still doesn't make us very spiritual. So it should be counteracted by the heart, a deep feeling and love of God and faith in God. So yes, the harmony of the 4 yogas, having all of these as components of our daily practice.